The morning she began her treatment, I instinctively prepared 2 cups of coffee. Hers went untouched. No one arrived. Not her aunts, not the so-called friends who claimed to adore her. Not even my sister, who constantly posted about family first. I sat beside my daughter's bed listening to the machine. Click like a clock, counting the moments of my silence. That was 4 days before the text arrived. $55,000 required for my art gallery. No greeting, no question, just a demand wrapped in full entitlement. I looked at the message for a long time. The boldness of it almost made me laugh out loud. Instead, I transferred her $1 with the reply, "Purchase a paintbrush." Then, I opened my banking application and immediately froze every shared account under my control. That is when the quiet part of my plan started. My sister Daphne was the type who could cry on command and receive praise for it. Growing up, she perfected the ability to seem delicate while others struggled to support her. I used to believe it was simply charm. It took me 31 years to see it was a deep hunger, one that fed only on the trust of other people. When I got married, she smiled through clenched teeth and said, "You are fortunate he is patient." When my husband passed away, she said, "You are strong enough to manage this alone." And when my daughter became ill, she said absolutely nothing. I had noticed the pattern years ago, how her concern only appeared when she needed something. But I accepted it because I thought loving her meant endurance until the morning of the treatment. That evening, after freezing the accounts, I logged into the shared business portal. She had never bothered to check it herself. Her art gallery was not focused on art. It was a means of cleaning money for her fiancé's consulting business. I discovered the evidence: fake invoices, duplicate transfers, and one transaction that made my heart stop. $16,000 withdrawn from my joint savings, my fund, the one I had created for my daughter's medical needs. They had stolen from her while she slept with tubes connected to her arms. That was the exact moment I stopped being kind. Retaliation does not start with anger. It starts with self-control. I spent 3 days doing what Daphne never could, remaining silent. I waited for her to share another business update. When she did a picture of herself in a white dress with champagne in hand captioned, "The gallery reopens Friday," I began to act. First, I printed the financial documents and sent them anonymously to her investor, then to her fiancé's company board. Finally, I sent them to the IRS fraud hotline. No drama, no shouting, just accurate numbers, all pointing directly back to her signature. Then I waited. By morning, the fiancé's work email was deactivated, terminated. His social media profile had vanished. I did not have to guess what happened next. I knew men like him. Money was his only loyalty. Without it, he would become angry. At 9:42 a.m., my phone rang. Unknown number. "What did you do?" I did not answer. By noon, her fiancé had learned everything. The frozen accounts, the fake transfers, the overdue gallery rent. The investors withdrew their money. The landlord changed the locks. At 3:17 p.m., Daphne texted again. "Please call me." "He's gone. He took everything." I did not call. I forwarded her message to the police officer handling the fraud investigation and attached her own bank statements. By evening, her gallery website was down. I saw her one final time 2 weeks later. She came to the hospital without warning. No makeup, no filters, just completely defeated. My daughter was sleeping, a soft hat covering her head. Daphne stood at the entrance, her voice shaking. "You did not have to destroy me." I looked at her, truly looked. The same sister who used to hide behind me in school fights, who once cried on my wedding day because she claimed she would never be loved like that. "I did not destroy you," I said. "I simply stopped protecting you." She opened her mouth, then closed it. The quiet between us was the purest feeling I had experienced in years. She left without saying goodbye. That night, I checked my bank application again. The accounts were still frozen, but I smiled because it was no longer about the money. It was about the boundary, the one she could never cross again. My daughter stirred half asleep and whispered, "Mom, I'm here," I said. And for the first time, I truly was. Justice does not always shout. Sometimes it whispers, through locked funds, canceled leases, and the quiet click of doors closing forever. Daphne used to say art was about self-expression. Maybe she was correct, because what I did was my masterpiece. I painted it in silence, framed it in patience, and signed it with one simple message: buy a paintbrush.